Baby Sister by Dorothea M. Sachs. The sun was setting behind the mountains. Benito put his dump truck in the big box near the kitchen door. Then he went inside. Mama and Papa would play with Benito every evening. But one day, Mama went away. She came home with a baby. Papa said, "This is your new baby sister. Her name is Alita." From the start, Alita cried. She cried when she was hungry. She cried when she was wet. She cried when she was sleepy. And sometimes she cried just so someone would hold her. She kept Mama and Papa busy. Too busy to spend much time with Benito. Now Benito had to be quiet all the time. He had to play alone in his room when the baby took a nap. But sometimes Benito forgot to be quiet. One day he ran into the house and slammed the door. "Mama!" he shouted. "Come quick! There's a bird in the apricot tree!" Mama said, "Hush, Benito. I'll come out when Alita falls asleep." One evening, Papa and Benito drove to the big airport. Grandma was coming for a visit. How happy Benito was to see Grandma. Grandma hugged him and kissed him. "Benito," she said, "you've grown. You're such a big boy now. I hope the shirt I bought fits you." They sang songs all the way home. But as soon as Grandma saw Alita, she seemed to forget about Benito. And she had brought a great big box of clothes for the baby. The next evening, Benito heard something out behind the house. It sounded like a baby crying, but much quieter. Benito called Papa, and together they went to look. They found a small white kitten sitting all alone under a bush. Her blue eyes looked frightened. "Meow, meow, meow," she cried. Benito asked, "Why is this cat so small?" "She's a baby, like Alita," Papa said. "Where's her mother?" Benito asked. "Sometimes kittens get lost," said Papa. "Please, Papa, can I keep her?" Benito asked. "You would have to feed her and keep her warm and clean her litter box." "Are you big enough to do that every day?" Papa asked. "I think so," said Benito. At supper that night, Benito and Mama and Papa and Grandma all tried to think of names for the kitten. Grandma said, "The kitten should be called Blanca. That means white." But Benito did not like that name. Papa said, "Call your kitten Snowflake." But the kitten did not look like a snowflake to Benito. "I would call her Preciosa," Mama said, "because you will learn to love her each day more and more. She will become precious to you." "I will call her Preciosa." That first night, they fed the kitten with a medicine dropper. Then they wrapped her in a blanket they had kept warm by the fire. And in a few days, Preciosa was drinking her milk from a dish. Soon Mama was helping Benito open cans of cat food for her. Each morning, Preciosa awakened Benito. First, she licked his face with her rough tongue. Then she nudged him with her head. Finally, she poked him with her paw. She seemed to be saying, "Get up and feed me right now." With Preciosa meowing for her breakfast and Alita crying for her cereal, the kitchen got very noisy. While Preciosa ate, Benito cleaned her litter box. When she was finished eating, Benito carefully washed her dish. Then he left a fresh bowl of water for her to drink during the day. Benito loved Preciosa, but she did need a lot of care. Usually it made Benito happy to be busy caring for his kitten. But sometimes Benito got tired, just like Mama. One day, Mama laid down to rest. Just then, Alita started to stir. Benito went to Alita's cradle and started to rock her very gently. Then he sang some of the songs that Mama always sang. Alita started cooing. That was her way of singing along. Soon she was asleep. That afternoon, Benito saw Mama struggling with a heavy basket of wet laundry. He grabbed one handle and helped carry the basket to the yard. He handed Mama the wet clothes one at a time, and she hung them on the line to dry. Later, Benito helped fold the dry clothes. He put his socks and underwear neatly in his drawer. That night, Mama said, "You're a wonderful boy, Benito. Thank you for helping me." Papa said, "I'm proud of you, son. You're really growing up." Over the long winter, Benito watched Preciosa grow into a plump white cat. She was learning to take care of herself. She liked to chase mice in the yard. Alita was growing too. By springtime, she could sit up, smile, and go for outings with the family on Sunday afternoons. Benito was allowed to push Alita's stroller around the plaza in the center of town. Alita looked all around and made funny sounds. Benito was proud of Alita. Alita still needed a lot of care. Benito learned to feed her, give her a bottle, and play her favorite games. He liked the way she smiled whenever he was near. Benito loved his baby sister. The end.